Can't believe I'm sweating. It's only supposed to be about 55 degrees today. I just went creek walking in a town I've never been to before and found 4 really nice bottles. Alright, this one's not too special. It's just a D patent. And it's from Greensboro, North Carolina. Then this one. It's kind of sandblasted from being in the sandy creek. Probably should have left this one behind. It's from Durham, and it's just the patent office variety, so it's probably worth $2 at the best. Now this is a nice one. It is a 1915. It's got nice seams on it. It's an odd smoky clear. No town name on it. Got a little bit of a chip. But it's just nice. Oh, I didn't notice it had that right there. Damn it, I thought it was going to be near mint. Oh well. Still, from this side, it displays pretty nice. It's an early one. It's probably from about 1918 or 1919. And I was pleasantly surprised to find this one laying on a sandbar. It's just a block print Pepsi, but it is about 1922. It's from the giant city of Durham. Very common, and it has a lip chip, so I'll be lucky to get $10 for this one. Okay, here I am in Spencer, North Carolina again. And I have found an old house site. Hard to believe a house was here, but there is evidence of 3 or 4 outhouse pits, and there is thousands of bottles on top of the ground. Covered in ivy though. Everywhere you step, you can feel bottles under your feet. It's as though they threw every single bottle they had out the back door for 30 years. If all this ivy wasn't here, you would see so much glass you wouldn't believe it. But it's mostly a surface dump. I probed all over the place, and it only goes a maximum of 5 or 6 inches. But they definitely threw every bottle they ever got. Probably all the way till about 1980. This looks like their newest trash right here. Plastic bags came into use sometime in the mid-70s, I think. But there's even some round milk bottles out here. Those are usually from the 40s. Of course, I've only found the necks of them so far. As you can see, I peeled back the ivy right here, and there's just bottles and trash everywhere. That looks like it could be from the late 40s. And then we got one of these Pepsis right here. That's before the painted label, I think. But all the good stuff seems to be broken. And this would have been the best thing. It's a Daniel Boone ACL soda. I would have to say that's got to be the late 40s. And of course a milk bottle top. And this looks like a Privy. It's sunken down a little bit right there. And it's right in line with a very obvious Privy. This one's sunk down about a foot. I've already probed it. That's definitely a Privy, but I'm not sure if I should waste my time digging it. With so many bottles thrown on top of the ground, there might not be anything in there. And they probably didn't ever have plumbing. They probably used outhouses till 1975. And here's an interesting one. It's got a heart and a bunch of vines and corn, it looks like. And a bigger heart. It's probably only from the 50s, but It might be worth a few dollars to somebody because it's pretty interesting looking. Okay, I've moved on up about 200 feet over, and I'm still finding tons of trash on top of the ground. There's a gallon-sized milk. Don't see a lot of those around. And there's some old cans right on top of the ground that still have decent paint on them. A whole bunch of them. I guess this brand of beer made some good cans because I find a lot of these. It's not that popular of a brand, but yet they always come out in good shape. Looks like about a 1964. Well, there's a rare tall one there. This certainly looks like the type of a place you would expect a dump to be. Big drop off out in the middle of nowhere, but pretty close to town. Could have dumped about 100,000 bottles down here and it wouldn't make a dent in it. But of course, it isn't a dump. But there is a very few pieces of glass here and there. Well, there's a little bit of a dump, but a lot less than you would expect in a place like this. Bunch of whiskeys, and this right here. I'm not much of a beer can collector, but I've never seen this one before. Yeah, there's some stuff down here, but it's mostly 40s and 50s. What do we got here? Gordon's London Dry Gin. Looks like a really late variety. And about 100 feet over from there we have a small creek. I guess it has some kind of potential. We'll take a walk because I do see a Clorox bottle right there. And we quickly came to a Y in the creek, and there's another one going up this way. And I do see some bottles. Not very old, but I'll check it out anyway. Don't see too many gallon jugs anymore. As you may have noticed, I haven't been filming my creek walks that much lately. Mostly because there's so much stuff in the way. And carrying a camera on a strap just gives me more stuff to tangle up on. Okay, here's a pretty interesting little spot in the creek. There's a sapphire blue Noxzema. These seem to be World War II era. I never sell them, but I bring them home thinking someday I will. And there's obviously a Pepsi bottle from the 50s. A number of other glass shards. They said go 93 paces down the creek, and then when you see the hollowed out oak tree, that's where the gold is. Looks like somebody got here before me. And just when you think you're in a spot nobody's been for 30 or 40 years, you see stuff like this. Right in the middle of what looks like a road that once was here is this milk bottle. The top's broken off, but you can see a ghost image of a baby carrying a giant milk bottle over his shoulder. Something about mourning and health. And buy war bonds for security. That's pretty interesting. Would have been worth a lot of money. Got the NC approved on it. It's almost worth bringing back just to fill it in with a Sharpie. Because those war bottles are worth a lot of money. But I guess I'll leave it for the next guy to do. Well, that's some kind of a dirt road bed over there that hasn't been used for at least 25 or 30 years. And obviously they dumped on the sides of it, so I'm going to backtrack and see if I can find anything worthwhile. And this is what I hate about the South. You don't see any bottles here, but every time I take a step I feel them under my feet. That's not very old though, but you can hear everything under my feet. So you never know how many bottles you passed up because they're covered in ivy. Trying to use a scratcher to rake through here would be very difficult. Well, I don't know. Probably should save it for a time when I'm desperate to find something. Thousands of bottles and cans in here. Everywhere I step, I hear stuff crunching. Ridiculous amounts. Well, I don't know. There could be some older stuff in here somewhere, but it would take all day just to find out. Here's a great looking lot. I just probed out a privy. Feels pretty good. I'm a little bit scared to dig in this spot though, because I don't know, there's some people near here that might call the cops on me. Alright, the first one's dug. Well, I started anyway. It had 1953 and 54 stuff in it, so I gave up on that one. Got another one though, it's got to be older than that.